Good morning, Jacques.
Yes, good morning, Annie.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Fantastic.
Who's on the screen?
Hear me? How
Yeah.
can I help you guys connect to the test? Are you in touch with your judge? I have Dana here. You have contact questions.
Okay. We don't have the other party on yet, eh? The Dominique Giroux and the university.
Have you received any email or other communication from him this morning?
I did get a communication last night, and I send them. I'm gonna send them back a communication to touch base. Let me go on my Outlook.
Okay.
C'est ça ici.
This is Dana.
Yes, Dana. I'm. Someone's talking to me at the same time. Can you give me a second, please? Okay. Okay. I'm just emailing Dominique to make sure that.
Did you email Dominic
Can you say that again? I didn't really clear. It wasn't clear.
Did you email Dominic the portion that I sent you?
No, I haven't yet. I'm working on it now.
Okay.
Non, mais si y a rien qui brise avec lui, tout va être correct après.
Je peux qu'il me donnerait un café avant que je vienne.
Quoi tu veux dedans?
Juste un peu de lait. Pas du lait crème.
Bless you.
Mais là, je voulais faire le test avec lui. Moi. OK.
Tu m'as redonné encore le numéro?
Tiens, mon cher.
Merci. Luc.
En tout cas.
Luc.
Oui.
Je vais t'imprimer quelque chose s'il donnerait, parce qu'il a l'air perdu.
Donnez.
Il est sur mon bureau. Il va être sur mon bureau. C'est ça qu'il a besoin, ce numéro-là. Il fait 20. Ouais.
Allô? Allô? Ça va-tu bien? Ça rentre-tu, Pat? Pat, m'entends-tu? J'espère que tu m'entends.
Moi aussi, Pat.
J'espère qu'elle n'aura pas parlé fort comme ça, maintenant.
C'est toi qui est rentré sur ma...
2 judges on site, and we have 1 judge who is coming in remotely, and we've just made contact. We have a French-speaking judge because we will have a French-speaking contestant. So anyway, I'm not going to say anything else. We'll have a few more words when we have the awards ceremony, but thank you all for being here, and break a leg, everybody. Have fun. Main thing is have fun. Okay, so we're ready to start. And I need to put this. You're doing lavalier, right? Okay, so we're okay. And the first contestant will be coming in from the St. Lawrence region. So anyway, I'm not going to say anything else. We'll have a few more words when we have the awards.
Okay.
Right, St. Louis? Wait.
What?
Wait. You are now unmuted. We will now begin.
Mesdames et messieurs, membres du jury, bonjour. De quelle manière mes meilleures réalisations inspirent-elles le meilleur chez les autres? Grandes ou petites, nos réalisations apportent aux autres. Que ce soit par de simples actions ou de grandes manifestations, nous changeons les gens en améliorant le bien-être de chacun. Comment nos réalisations apportent-elles à autrui? Par des gestes? Peut-être par la parole, car, comme l'a cité le grand Molière, la parole a été donnée à l'homme pour expliquer ses pensées. Il n'en faut pas énormément pour changer la vie d'une personne. Il ne suffit que d'un simple déclic pour révolutionner les idées préconçues. Je me souviens plus jeune, alors que j'allais porter des paniers de nourriture pour Noël à des familles démunies. Ce simple geste m'a fait voir les choses différemment. Depuis, je fais du bénévolat et j'aime ça. Et beaucoup de mes préjugés se sont envolés. Malgré l'opinion de plusieurs personnes, le bénévolat n'est pas ennuyant. Chaque expérience est enrichissante. Que cela soit de faire de l'aide aux devoirs pour les plus jeunes, de préparer un spectacle divertissant, ou encore d'aller porter ses bons paniers gourmands. L'important, c'est de rendre les gens heureux. Toutes ces réalisations contribuent au futur et me permettent de faire partie intégrante de cette société à laquelle je crois. Plusieurs personnes se sont réalisées en se battant pour l'égalité des humains. Leur combat a transformé le monde. Leurs actions étaient pourtant un contre-courant. Je crois pertinemment que la différence est une richesse. Mère Teresa a remporté le prix Nobel de la paix, car elle a démontré sa détermination à œuvrer au nom des démunis. Sa voix, sa prise de parole ont été entendues. Elle a fait la différence dans la société. Nous nous en souvenons encore. D'autres comme Lise Fayette, l'une des premières femmes dans la politique, et Marie Curie, connue pour ses grandes découvertes, nous ont prouvé que nos réalisations apportent une différence. Ils forgent l'histoire. Gandhi, un pacifiste qui a démontré le pouvoir de la non-violence à l'aide de ses gestes, a un jour dit une citation très inspirante sur le bonheur. Le bonheur, c'est quand vos actes sont en accord avec vos paroles. Mais selon moi, le bonheur, c'est aussi d'avoir un rêve. Et j'ai un rêve, celui qu'un jour les humains soient égaux. J'agis pour que mes réalisations aient un impact. Je suis inspirée par des modèles d'égalité et de respect. Je crois au partage et à la générosité. L'humain est bon. Marie Curie, Gandhi et plusieurs autres encore me l'ont prouvé. Des personnes comme Lise Fayette m'inspirent à voir grand. Leur influence et leur combat ont marqué les années. Leurs réalisations ne seront jamais oubliées. Ces personnages historiques ont rendu le monde meilleur. Des gestes simples, un sourire compatissant, une attitude positive au quotidien tissent un futur forgé d'espoir et de paix. J'ai le pouvoir de changer une multitude de choses. Je me souviens de l'histoire de Rosa Parks, cette femme à la peau noire qui a un jour refusé de céder sa place à un homme à la peau blanche. Son geste a créé une révolution. Elle a désobéi à une règle basée sur le racisme. Sa prise de position a fait boule de neige jusqu'à renverser la ségrégation raciale aux États-Unis. Elle a fait réfléchir et engendrer un mouvement basé sur l'égalité sociale. Et si nous pouvions, à l'aide de gestes du quotidien, influencer comme Rosa Parks? Ça fait réfléchir, non? Je crois que nous tous ici voulons vivre sereinement. Je crois que nous en avons tous assez de l'intimidation, du dénigrement et des injustices. Qu'attendons-nous? Que les autres fassent le travail à notre place? Réagissons, mobilisons-nous pour que, grandes ou petites, nos réalisations bâtissent une société construite sur des valeurs humanistes. Soyons le prochain Gandhi. Soyons la prochaine Lise Payette. Et je serai à l'image de Rosa Parks. Je crierai mes convictions, mettrai au profit de mon prochain mes victoires. Merci.
Test 1, 2. Can I also put it in my pocket?
Yeah, good.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, I feel more comfortable with it in my pocket. Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Upstairs. All right. All right.
Right now. So we're checking with the judges, and as soon as we get the high sign from the judges' room, we'll be ready.
All right.
Go.
Good morning. Distinguished judges, family, friends, fellow contestants. Allow me to share with you how my best brings out the best in others. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17 reads, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." There is a mutual benefit in the rubbing of two iron blades together. The blades become sharper, making the knives more efficient in the task of cutting and slicing. When I ponder the question, how do I bring out the best in others? I cannot help but to think on the words of my grandparents. Those with whom we assemble, we soon resemble. This simple old saying hides a deep truth that enlightens and empowers every aspect of one's life. Who we are, our very essence, is continually being transformed by the company we keep. To bring out the best in others, you must first strive to be the best person that you can be. I have learned important character traits from important people in my life that help bring out the best in me. A coach, a sergeant, an encourager, and a leader all help to bring out the best in me. I use the same lessons that I have learned from these special people in my life to bring out the best in my peers. A coach is a person who teaches, develops, and helps people identify obstacles that prevent top performance. Coaches are energetic and they lead by example. To bring out the best in others, I am a coach. I give out compliments that I mean. I try to be open and direct in my interactions with my teammates. Sometimes during locker room sessions in between a tough quarter, I may share with my teammates the need to work harder, refocus, and shake off some bad choices. I assure my teammates that we need them to concentrate on their position. I give them a high five and say, your contribution to this game plays a key role in us getting this win. Play your game. I have learned to speak with honesty. When you speak with honesty and believe in your own words, these actions will compel others to do the same. A sergeant is a person who pushes, challenges, and transforms individuals to prepare them to serve and succeed. My grandfather served as a drill sergeant in the U.S. Army. He uses the same tactics to push me to excellence. Through the examples of my grandfather, I have learned to volunteer to serve mankind. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. states, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. I serve in community cleanup activities. I sing carols to the elderly. I serve dinner to the homeless during the holidays, and I take time to read stories to younger children during Sunday school. When brightening someone's day or assisting in improving outcomes, this helps to bring out the best in others. My mother and my grandmother are my encouragers. An encourager is one who supports, empathizes, and listens when a person is experiencing personal issues, low morale, or is simply frustrated. My encouragers help bring out the best in me. I take a page out of their playbooks to bring out the best in others. My father is the man that I consider to be a leader. A leader is one who inspires people to pursue a vision. I have learned from my father that if you are a real leader, people will follow you. He often says that if you look behind you and there is no one following you, then you are only taking a walk. I am a leader. I can recall a situation where many of my classmates were teasing and intimidating another classmate. And I took it upon myself to speak to the entire class and strongly urge them to make better choices and to leave him alone. If you can't help, don't hurt. These words changed the outcome of his fate, and the classroom environment became a better place. Encouragement comes in many forms: a high five, a thumbs up, a stern look, a strong voice, or even a hug. I use all the lessons that I have learned from these special people in my life to bring out the best in my teammates, classmates, and friends. How do you bring out the best in others? You bring out the best in others by surrounding yourself with individuals who encourage you, support you, and sharpen you. Iron sharpens iron. I sharpen the persons around me, and this brings out the best in both of us. Thank you.
Check, check. Good. 1, 2, check. And you'll tell me. All right.
Okay, the judges are ready for contestant number 3.
My prompt is, how my best brings out the best in others. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be clear about what I am here to do. I am here to save the world from mediocrity. Maybe I should buy myself a cape. From Normalsburg to Averageville, I see potential that has been wasted. I want to fix things, but I don't have any superpowers. At my best, I can't fly, I can't read minds, but I can set an example. Let me explain how with this power, I can change the world. Conducted in 1951, the Asch conformity experiments proved just how strongly we are affected by the actions of others. In this experiment, subjects were asked to identify which of 3 lines was the shortest as part of a visual test. The answers were always obvious. However, certain actors also participated in the experiment with the knowledge of what it was really about. When these actors purposely chose the wrong lines, the others followed suit. The results of this experiment may leave you uneasy. Conformity, it seems, is stronger than eyesight. In the style of the emperor's new clothes, what we see right in front of us can be less important than what everyone else says they see. But rather than be concerned by the results of this experiment, we should be encouraged, because if conformity can have such a profound effect, then we can have a profound effect. If most choose to leave the status quo unquestioned, then all the more power to those of us who choose to disrupt it. Now, average is average, and it will remain that way if the average Joe does not change. If Joe compares himself to mediocrity, he does not even realize the possibility of change. But if I am striving with superlative effort, he can see me and realize the distance between his progress and his potential. A personal story recently related to me the power of a good example. I've been playing piano for about 1 year now. I, like all the other students, worked on a piece that I would play at a recital. After this recital, my teacher told me of a student who had been playing for 2 years. When the student heard me play, she said to our teacher, "He's nearly caught up to me. I need to get moving." And she did just that. My dedication provided not only personal progress, but it helped somebody else. Our hard work can be thought of like a flourishing flower. The flower is beautiful on its own, but the effect of its pollination helps benefit an entire garden of fragrant blossoms. Our diligence is the spark which ignites a mighty fire of human excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to save the world. The Asch conformity experiments, the average Joe, and my piano playing peer are 3 of so many thousands of examples proving that my best will bring out the best in others. We all have our failings, but what greater encouragement to overcome our imperfections than knowing that the world is at stake? Ladies and gentlemen, I said it once more, and I will say it again. I am here to save the world from mediocrity. 1 piano player at a time, 1 average Joe at a time, 1 of you, 1 of him, 1 of her. My method is clear. In the words of Henry David Thoreau, if you would convince a man he does wrong, do right. Men will believe what they see. Let them see. Now, Henry David Thoreau was born a century before Solomon Ash. But what they taught me through writing and experiment is the same, because the truth does not change. Conformity is a scientific fact. How do we use it? My best will bring out the best in others. Am I doing my best? Men will believe what they see. What will you show them?
One, two. Oh. One, two, 1, 2. Is it good? Okay.
The judges are ready for contestant number 4.
How My Best Brings Out the Best in Others. First published in 1919, the classic story of the wonderful Wizard of Oz presents the readers the story of a young girl named Dorothy. Dorothy goes beyond the rainbow, where she meets characters such as the Tin Woodsman, who's looking for her heart, and the Cowardly Lion, who seeks courage. When asked the question how my best brings out the best in others, I know I offer compassion and courage, especially to young Chin students who have recently made their journey here to America. Having arrived only 11 years ago, I still remember those who were just like the Tin Woodsman and the Cowardly Lion. Resource rich and fertile, Burma was once regarded as the rice bowl of Asia. Under military rule since 1962, its fortunes have steadily declined, and today it is one of the world's least developed and least free countries in the world. It is also the source of one of the world's most protracted Chin refugee crises. In the early 2000s, only a lucky few amount of Chin, or rather Burmese refugees, have sought refuge here in the United States. One of these fortunate refugees is my father. Unlike others, my father came to America before I was even born and started to sustain a life in preparation for my mother, my brother, and me to share. To be honest, adjusting to life here in America was gruesome for me. I was suddenly forced to assimilate into American culture, and for a 6-year-old, that adjustment was absolutely overwhelming. I did not speak English. I had no friends. I did not understand what my teachers were teaching me in class. Everywhere I looked, I found only paved roads filled with fast-moving cars. I missed the comfort of my 20-square-foot hut made of branches and twigs. American apartment life was absolutely foreign to me. However, with the support of my family, life here in America eventually became much easier to embrace. My family taught me that I would never have to face this battle alone. As I began to grow up, I noticed an increase in the Chin population in my town, and I realized how difficult it would be for these new Chin immigrants to adjust to a whole new culture. I then decided to become actively involved in developing new Chin organizations to offer aid to these students. My best would help bring out their best. As my family taught me with compassion, I began teaching these students with tenderness and patience. I let them know that I understood the hardships they were facing. I once faced them myself. By teaching them with compassion, many were able to bring out their full potential and became successful because they became much more resilient and more and since acts of kindness and generosity create a ripple effect, refugees newer than I too were able to impact and inspire those around them as well. Although I easily taught them about sympathy and empathy, Teaching them how to be courageous was a far more difficult task. For instance, these young students and their families had to simultaneously travel through a jungle while carrying their sick relatives on their backs as they evaded authorities. I simply boarded a plane. My courage was tiny in comparison to what these newcomers possessed. Eventually, I witnessed those who were afraid to answer a simple question in front of their peers. Most froze up in front of strangers, and yet later they told me how they wished they could become braver. As a result, they soon ended up reminding me of the Cowardly Lion because they were so guilt-ridden and ashamed of their own fear, anxiety, and perceived cowardice that they cannot recognize how brave they already were. I then resorted to creating numerous activities to help increase their courage. We played games of self-actualization. These made-up events helped to identify the real nature and definition of bravery. Soon, these students realized that their courage was always inside of them all along, just like the bravery of the lion. After a few months, many of these students were constantly answering questions in their classes and became more socially active by joining clubs, creating friendships, and even participating in academic competitions. For instance, one of the students I used to mentor now actively participates in her school's debate team. Having the opportunity to inspire others, especially these young, fully capable Chin students, was absolutely incredible for me, as the involvement brought out my best. I may have taught these students to always try their best, but they have also made me realize my love for educating and inspiring others. Although these students always possess these qualities, I was subsequently able to tip them over the edge, which enabled them to unleash the best of their abilities. Indeed, I am no wizard, but I know now that even without ruby red slippers, if we give our best, we get the best in return.
One, two, 1, 2. One, two, 1, 2.
The judges are ready for contestant number 5.
How my best brings out the best in others. The word best is an adjective, and its definition, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, is of the most excellent, effective, or desirable type or quality. So, when I do my best, it brings out the greatest qualities in everyone around me. My best brings out the best in others when I'm at school, work, and with my infectious personality. Bethany Hamilton once said, "Love God, love others. Do your best in all you do, even if you fall short." This is something that I take to heart when I'm at school. My best brings out the best in others at school when I'm with my friends, when I'm working on schoolwork, and when I'm participating in extracurricular activities. We tend to surround ourselves with people that are similar, and or complement our personalities. The best in us is brought out through these friends, and they set us up for success and not failure. Bethany Hamilton's quote makes the most sense when talking about schoolwork. I try my best on every assignment given to me, but when someone else needs help, one of my deepest desires is to be able to serve others. I love seeing how me working hard makes others work harder. Other than friends and schoolwork, my best brings out the best in others at school when I'm participating in extracurricular activities. I'm involved in band, choir, and theater. When I do my best, others strive to their best by practicing and giving their all in every rehearsal. During pop concert time, you will see me, along with other students from the choir department, practicing the choreography tirelessly during class and during advisory almost every day. Working hard is something that most people strive for, and I know that's something that I strive for. I'm a teacher at an after-school program. First, my best brings out the best in others at work when I have a positive attitude. Some say that children can smell fear, doubt, and other emotions from miles away, and their attitude will reflect yours. So, when a child is having a bad day, I smile, laugh, talk kind of funny, have a listening ear to whatever's troubling them, which shows that someone cares. When I'm having one of my worst days, my acting has to bring out that positive but mature attitude that the children need. As a 2-year employee of this program, I see fellow staff members come and go a lot. But when I do my best, the new and old employees can watch to either figure out what needs to be done or help me figure out what I can do to become a better teacher. Another point that brings out the best in me as well as others at work is when I'm interacting with the children's parents. When the parents come to pick up their kids, we get a call to send the kids down the hallway. But as everyone knows, getting children to move quickly is a really hard task in itself. So I do my best by getting the children down the hallway as fast as I can. The last point that brings out the best in me as well as others is my personality. Merriam-Webster Collegiate Dictionary defines personality as the combination of characteristics or qualities that form an individual's distinctive character. When I came to write this part, I thought about what I would say. Thought about making something up that made me sound super nice and professional. But instead, I just texted a couple of my friends and asked them what they liked most about me. My friend Emily said, "I love your great sense of service, and that makes me want to serve." Whether it's checking in with my friends each day to see if there's anything I can do for them, or visiting a local nursing home once a month to perform songs for the residents. I love giving of myself consistently. Emily also said that I had an infectious laugh. Two of my favorite things are to smile and to laugh. When I smile, it causes others to smile. And when I laugh, it causes others to laugh too. My best brings out the best in others when I'm at school, work, and with my infectious personality. My goal in life is to be able to serve others and God while making my life what I want it to be. So when you're having one of the worst days, just stop, smile, and think about how that may make someone else's day that much better. Thank you.
Pacific Northwest, can you hear me?
Hello.
Cell phones are all off.
Okay. Wait a second for your video to load. If you want to look at the little video icon at the bottom of your screen to make sure that is enabled. Great. We can see you. We can hear you. If you can stand by, we will give you the go-ahead when the judges are ready. Pacific Northwest, the judges are ready. You may begin.
How my best brings out the best in others. Laura and I used to run side by side through freshly cut fields in the summer and sit huddled together by a crackling fireplace when the nights turned cold. From the moment we bumped into each other on that first day of kindergarten, we knew that it marked the beginning of a truly unbreakable friendship. Or so we thought. As the years flew by, our similarities led us to become increasingly competitive. What started out as friendly competition escalated bit by bit into a negative desire to knock the other down. Every game turned into a cutthroat race, and we began to be driven apart by our mutual craving to win, to always be the best. Ladies and gentlemen, our world today is infatuated with the idea of being the best. Our culture is built upon wins and losses, successes and failures, who gets that gold medal and who walks home empty-handed. But what really defines the word best? Unbeknownst to me at the time, to be the best does not mean to win at every race or score the highest on every exam. In fact, trying to fit society's definition of the best is an impossible task that only sets us up for failure and can pit us against even those whom we love the most. From the loss of my closest friend, Laura, I learned the hard way that being the best is not about knocking others down, but about building both yourself and others up. My attitude towards success changed from being the best to being my best. My best didn't depend on whether I won or lost. It depended on the effort I put in to try. It depended on whether I stuck to my morals and fought hard for what I believed in. By being happy with myself and those around me, I was finally able to become my best. Let's examine famous American doctor Elizabeth Blackwell. At a time where men were viewed to be dominant, she shattered society's beliefs by becoming the first woman to earn a medical degree in the United States. Though at first, she was only accepted into university as a joke and was ostracized alike, her hard work and positive attitude in the face of adversity was able to change their doubting mindsets. Elizabeth's fight to achieve her personal best was able to inspire countless others to follow in her footsteps. Though one person's actions may appear to be trivial, each of us individually have an incredible power within us. We can bring out the best in others with a feat as great as becoming the first female American doctor, or as something as simple as an act of support. When we're having a bad day, it's incredibly easy to bring others down with us. But what's just as easy is simply making the decision to be your best self by putting in that little bit of effort to not let your frustrations take over your life and the lives of those around you. So last month, Laura and I met up again for the first time in 3 years. She told me she had broken her record at her last swim meet, and rather than feeling jealous or threatened, I felt pride for my reacquainted friend. Her best was different from mine, and my best in that moment was simply to support her accomplishment. If we all make the effort to be our own unique best selves, we can certainly bring out the best in others. Thank you.
Southern Wisconsin, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, if you want to just go to the bottom of your screen and ensure that your camera is enabled. Great. We can see you. We can hear you. Stand by while we wait for our judges to confirm they are ready. Our judges are ready. You may begin.
How my best brings out the best in others. As I thought about this topic, I realized before I could answer this question as a whole, I was first forced to ask, what am I, a young person, capable of? What is my best? And as I began to study this out, I came across an insightful book, Do Hard Things by Alex and Brett Harris. I was immediately engrossed in their ideas as the concepts from this book began to transform my definition of my best. They told a story about an American named David, who during a time of war was called upon to take command of a captured vessel and its crew and sail it safely back to his home country. And of course, during this journey, he would encounter such difficulties as storms, low supplies, disease, and even attempts at mutiny. But against all odds, he completed his mission. But I believe I forgot to make just one distinction. David, the captain of this ship, was 12 years old. Now, our immediate response to this story is that David must have been an extreme case, a freak of society, not the average youth of his day. Because unfortunately, in 2016, a normal American teenager is often expected to be slumped in a chair playing video games without a care for anything but that next high score. We are often expected to be incapable of completing difficult tasks. But as I continued to look at the expectations and the accomplishments of youth throughout history, I was shocked and inspired. Louis Braille invented the Braille writing system for the blind at age 15. Everest Gallio had developed an entire branch of algebra before the age of 20. At the age of 17, Bell Boyd had begun a career of espionage on behalf of the Confederates in the Civil War. I found example upon example of young men and women, no more equipped for greatness than you or I, who, when given difficult adult tasks, conquered insurmountable odds. These stories took the ceiling off of my definition of best, and I began trying in a more intentional way to, as the book title stated so simply, do hard things. One of the first areas in which I strove to do hard things, my new definition of best, was film production. Now, before I'd contemplated the ideas in this book, I made videos. Not very good ones, but I made videos. I looked at movie making as just a hobby. But after I started redefining my best, I began to look at filmmaking in a more purposeful way. Instead of just making videos for fun, I joined an online media class that is enabling me to learn from skilled producers in the industry. I decided that I wanted to make films that were high quality and that would impact people's hearts and minds for the better. I began to see this bring out the best in others as I was showing my videos to friends. One friend in particular, who had never made videos before, bought his own camera and began filming with that same vigor and purpose that I had found after redefining my best. But my impact wasn't only limited to people who had an interest in film production. I've seen it affect people in other areas of my life as well. For instance, I'm a part of the leadership team for a youth logic and critical thinking club. Although many teenagers tend to shy away from subjects like logic, worldview, and philosophy, I've seen something quite different in this club. By giving my best to what I am doing in this club, I'm able to help create an atmosphere where teens feel like they can think well, a place where it is cool to be engaged. I've heard teens on their own time talking about logical fallacies and worldview issues and how they apply to their everyday lives. They don't see this as a class, but as a club where they can work together to consider and work through tough questions. So whether I'm working towards my goals in filmmaking, participating in a critical thinking club, or just doing life, I realize just how much giving all of my effort can really affect those around me. How my best can truly bring out the best in others.
One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two. Is it on? Oh, it is.
Okay, we're ready for contestant number 8.
How my best brings out the best in others. Looking at me, you might think, boy, he sure looks like he's really good at math. And you're right, I am good at math. But what you would never think is, wow, he looks like he's a good basketball player. People have stereotyped me from my height my whole life. They assume I can't do certain things or play many sports. Basketball is just one example of the many things people think I can't do because of my lack of height. Fortunately, I've learned to use that negative energy as motivation to prove them wrong. I may have a mind that can calculate figures, but more importantly, I have a heart that never gives up. I won't quit when things get difficult. I'm determined, and I will overcome any obstacles that get in my way. I take this attitude in most of the things I approach in life. I strive to get good grades in school. I push myself to work harder than others. I focus on setting goals for myself to accomplish later in life. And I do not give up on these goals. Even if I fail, I get back up and try even harder. I am like Rocky Balboa. I'm not afraid to get knocked down. It only makes me stronger and helps me find new ways to accomplish my goals. It's not always the fastest, strongest, or even the smartest person who wins the match, but the one with the most heart, will, and determination. We can't be afraid to get in the ring. You have to take risks to get what you want. Life is full of challenges. We all have punches thrown our way. But it's the way we react to these setbacks that define us as a person. Now, one might ask, how does my determination help bring out the best in others? One example would be the relationship I have with my little brother, Michael. Michael is 5 years old. We have nearly 9 years separating us. Most people have a sibling much closer in age. In those environments, siblings would act a lot different than Michael and me do. Most likely, they would fight, compete for attention, and be on similar academic levels. With a significant age gap between Michael and I'm in a stronger position to help guide, motivate, and teach him through the phases of life. I know he looks up to me. I can help him with his numbers and his letters, which will soon turn into reading and math. I can help him learn how to play sports and have good sportsmanship. I can help him stand up for himself and learn the differences between right and wrong. He often becomes frustrated, as most 5-year-olds do. But with the wisdom I've learned in my 13 years, I can help guide him through these challenging obstacles. Having my genes and coming from my family, the odds are that he too will be small. That continues to challenge me to teach him to be determined, strong, and motivated. I want to inspire and bring out the best in him. I am hopeful that I can teach him not only through my words and guidance, but also by the example I can set. I know that he is watching me, and I know that it's my responsibility to be a good role model for him. One of the people in my life who's inspired and brought out the best in me is my Uncle Ryan. Ryan is my mom's 41-year-old brother. He has Down syndrome, a genetic disorder that causes physical and mental lifelong disabilities. Ryan's been told no, and that he can't do things his whole life. He's been told that he'll never be able to accomplish certain things. He's taken more punches and been knocked down more times than anyone should have to endure. He's been told that he'll never learn to read. He'll never go to a normal school. He'll never drive a car. He'll never get married. He'll never live in his own home. The list goes on and on forever. But you know what? He approaches every day with an I can attitude and an I will determination. And with his family support, his blissful strength, and his never give up attitude, Ryan has proven many people wrong. He was the first Down student to graduate from my county's public schools, a normal school. He has learned how to read. He has his black belt in Taekwondo. He's won numerous medals in the International Special Olympics. He has a full-time position at a medical center. He's moved out from his parents and is now living on his own. And his biggest accomplishment, though he doesn't even know it, is the way he inspires everybody he encounters. Uncle Ryan used his determination to bring out the best in me, the way I hope my determination brings out the best in others. Thank you.
Good morning. Today, I will be speaking about how my best brings out the best in others. It is a particular honor to be standing before you today. Not because I am the first to ever reach this far, but rather because at this very moment, I am living out the dreams that my parents wish they could have had. My grandmother lived in one of the most rural parts of my country and died without ever learning how to read or write a single word. My grandfather saw no other things in life other than chopping or hauling lumber. My mother longed to become a nurse, but due to financial instability was unable to do so. So you see, as I stand here today, it is my obligation to be my best, to be the great light that will shine in the abyss of my family's past. Not for myself, but for those who came before me and did not have the opportunity to do so. I can vividly reminisce how it felt almost 1 year ago when I had to move 5 hours away from home in order to attain a higher education. I swore that I would have been as strong as a rock, which, frankly, did not happen at all. Shortly after settling in, I found myself desperately calling my mother. Mommy, I don't like it here. Please let me go. With a break of silence that was excruciating, I could hear her heart screaming, just come home, it's all gonna be okay. But all I heard from her was, you are there to be your best. I will call you later. I have to work now. And she hung up. After countless of hours weeping and whimpering, I decided to do exactly what I came here to do. It didn't matter that I was only a village kid. It didn't matter that I was only 16. And it surely did not matter that I was one of the first of my family to ever walk this path. I was prepared to be my best. The Latin word perfect noctem, which literally translates to seize the night, perfectly described my itinerary for that semester. I studied harder than I ever had within my entire life, burning the candles at both ends, and in the midst of it all, proficiently gaining my inevitable status as none other than legally blind. But, nevertheless, at the end of that semester, my hard work was evident. While on a school vacation, a small family gathering changed my life. This was done by my 7-year-old cousin. From a very young age, she looked up to me. She loved and adored me for some unknown reason. That day, she ran towards me with tiny glistening arms. I stooped down and she looked me in the eyes and said, my mom talks about you a lot. When I'm older, I'll work hard, just like you. You'll see, when I'm all grown, I'll be a doctor. It brought tears to my eyes to see a little girl who had no hopes of a future beyond that of a domestic worker be certain that she has the capability of being amazing. A little girl, viewed as just another housewife, aspired to give herself a name. Not solely that of which a husband can provide, but the kind of hard work and dedication provides. But nevertheless, it was heart-rending to see my little girl look towards a brighter future, while I myself strive towards one. Furthermore, in the words of Sir Colin Powell, the freedom to be your best means nothing unless you're willing to do your best. Ladies and gentlemen, your best has the power of uncovering the unimaginable, not only in yourselves, but also in those around you. I leave you with these words. Your best should not be an option, but the moral code by which we all choose to live our lives. Thank you.
I think we can applaud now. All I can say is I'm glad I'm running this and not judging it. You are all phenomenal, every last one of you. As somebody who's taught public speaking for more years than I like to admit, this was pretty amazing. Oh, you can't see me. Okay, that's right. They can see me. Okay. The judges will need a little time to deliberate, and while they're doing that, let me make a couple announcements. First of all, we're going to start lunch at 11:30 since we are way ahead of schedule. They will be ready by 11:30, and so we'll kind of move everything up a little bit. And then there will not be a bus going back to the hotel because no one rode it this morning. Now, if there is someone who does need to ride back to the hotel, let us know, and we'll make sure you get back there. But the bus, you will, okay. But the bus won't be going. Is that right, Dana? Yeah, okay. No bus, right? No bus, okay. But we will help you get back, so don't worry, we won't strand you here. Good. Let me take a minute to just thank everyone who is over here. Would our two technical people come out here, Ryan and Dylan? Oh, okay. I do want them to take a bow at some point because they won't be here when we do the awards assembly. Dylan took public speaking from me a couple of years ago and helped me with a lot of the tech in my classroom. And then SLU had the good sense to hire him to help run some of the tech here. But I do want them to come in so we can give them a round of applause. This was not an easy thing necessarily to pull off given where we were pulling everyone from, but it worked pretty darn well for the first time. And as I said yesterday, if you have any suggestions, any comments, good and bad, we will be happy to take them. And you know how to track down Optimists and Dana and Benny. So do any of you have anything to say? Well, not? Okay. Then just wait here for a few minutes. You can get up and move around. We're really finished with the program. And at 11:30, we will have the buffet line ready to start. Oh, Andy, we need a photograph of all the regional winners. So if you could come up, we didn't get it yesterday. So if you all would come up here for a minute, we'll get a group photograph. And I think we have a do we have the regional trophy? We were going to have some. Okay, we don't need it. Okay. This is going to go in some publicity. So if the 5 of you who are here would come up, is there any way to get some of the other ones up on the screen and we could actually maybe get the screen in the picture? Is that possible? Probably not. Okay. All right. Okay. I like to push high tech as far as I can. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, I will do this little thank you too. I was going to do it later, but we'll do it now. St. Louis University, the Center for Global Citizenship provided all of your meals. This was part of our contribution, so I hope you've enjoyed them, and I know we'll have a good lunch. Okay.
Jeanne est en jeu, ils ont vu, là, là, peut-être que, écoute, si tu vas avoir des clients potentiels ou des membres potentiels, dans le fond, là, ils ont
Okay,
commencé
for both participants, we'd like to try to get your photo as well.
à leurs avantages aussi.
Jacques, can you hear me? We'd like to try to get a photo with your participants on our screen as well. Is your camera still on and working?
Je vais prendre une photo dans notre participante. OK.
Northwest and Southwest Wisconsin, we also want to try to get your photo as well. I'm going to enable your mics shortly. If you guys want to see about turning your cameras on. Dana, I'm sending you whatever documents are being sent to me. I don't know what they are.
Oh, from Canada?
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it, from Jacques or Dominique?
I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to do this too.
Oh, okay. Or can wait.
Yeah. Okay, Jack, can you hear me? I'm gonna give you guys the option to enable your camera. We're gonna see if we can make this work.
We're enabling now.
All right. Pacific Northwest, I just enabled your camera as well.
Camera's still unavailable right now.
Let's see. Hold on. Nope. I had forgot to hit one button. Oh, you should be able to turn your camera on.
Okay. We'll be starting in 5 minutes, actually about 4.5. Okay, thank you, Ryan. Is this one live?
Yeah, yeah.
This one's live, yeah.
But I think that one can be. Could we use that podium in the, or use that mic in the middle? Because we don't want to use this, because this will just interfere with pictures and everything.
Centered. Go up.
All right, good afternoon and welcome to our awards ceremony. Before we get to the awards, we have a few people we want to recognize. First of all, the technical staff from St. Louis University, Dylan and Ryan. Thank you very much. Dylan survived public speaking with me a few years ago, I think I said, so he's lived to tell about it. I don't remember. And I would also like all of the Optimist International tech staff and office staff and everyone else. Andy, Danny, Connie, all of you. Heidi, Maria, Optimist International. Wave your hands, stand up. Everybody, do not be shy. They have put in an unbelievable amount of time raising money for scholarships, covering the publicity, taking pictures, getting the tech, busing you. You know, Benny, need to also recognize Benny, who had the faith in us at St. Louis to pull this off. So thank you. And of course, the Optimist president, Dave Bruns, who also had confidence that this would happen. So thank you. For those of you who did not have a chance to hear the radio show that we were on yesterday, they introduced me as his wife. So I'm not sure. I guess I'm a bigamist today because my real husband is here too. But anyway, it created some amusement at the beginning. As we said yesterday, this is a partnership. We signed a memorandum of understanding between Optimist International and St. Louis University. And so on behalf of the university and someone who is a former Optimist participant, I'd like to introduce our Vice President for Admissions and Retention Management, Jay Goff, who was also one of my graduate students many years ago. So Jay wants to say a few words on behalf of the university.
Well, thank you, Diana. And again, to everyone who's participating, if you're here in the room or if you're watching the broadcast today, on behalf of St. Louis University, we want to thank you for participating. Those of you that we know have traveled thousands of miles to join us in our beautiful city and on our urban campus. We are you took the time to get here, and we hope that this has been a wonderful overall experience. Optimist is something that's very special to me. As Diana just mentioned, my as an active Optimist, she was my graduate advisor. My undergraduate advisor, his name of Charlie Wiles, was the international president. Some of you I know Charlie, right? And then my advisor and counselor in high school was also an Optimist. And so in 1985, I sat in the similar seats that you are today, participating in this type of an event. For those of you that did not get a chance to visit campus or don't know about St. Louis University, as a Jesuit Catholic private research university, we are in a unique position in terms of how we approach our outreach and support of young people, both on campus and throughout the world. We have two campuses, this main campus here in St. Louis, Missouri, and then our second campus is in Madrid, Spain. We also have 47 other study abroad and partner sites throughout the world. Each year we'll have about 19,000 students that will be enrolled, taking classes or doing training through St. Louis University. And a lot of people ask, why do we focus on that outreach, and what is our driving factor? For those of you who aren't familiar with the Jesuit mission, the Society of Jesus has founded 28 universities in the United States. Georgetown was the first in 1789. St. Louis University was the second in 1818. So we're getting ready to celebrate our bicentennial on campus here in just a year and a half. The interesting thing about the Jesuit push is that the idea is to have rigorous education, is to embrace all aspects, all people of our community, and the idea is to use your God-given gifts to help those that can't help themselves. And so when we saw the topic for this year's competition, talking about being your best and helping others being your best, we thought there was probably not a more appropriate topic to have hosted on this campus than that one. Many of you have seen our mascot is that of the Billiken, and you're probably wondering, what is a Billiken? Well, a Billiken was an idol. It was a little statuette before there were Cupid dolls that people would give to their friends and their family members for good luck. On the base of the Cupid doll, and this is about 1904, when the World's Fair and the Olympic Games were going on right on this campus, right in St. Louis, it said, "The way things ought to be." And the Jesuit priests that were running the university at that time in 1911 voted and said, you know, if our mission is to help men and then later women be for others and among others using their God-given gifts, I guess we really are Billikens, because we're helping them make the world the way it ought to be. And if you think about when you look at the Optimist Creed and the guidelines of what being an optimist is about, that really does encapsulate it, right? Using your gifts, developing those skills to make the world the way it ought to be. And as we heard each of your speeches, and I was a judge yesterday, I won't tell you who I judged, but as we listened to your speeches, I have to tell you how deeply impressed we were. For the parents that are listening and those that you are present today, I hope you are as terribly proud of your young people as we are. The fact is, you may not be Billikens yet, but the fact is that the pride and the standards and the beliefs of optimists, we saw it in each and every one of you. We saw the type of community that we're building here at St. Louis University among our students, and we were proud, and we hope you were just as proud as we were, because they are outstanding young men and women, and we know that they will go on to do great things if they continue on the path that they've displayed here today. So we are thrilled to have you here. We're thrilled the fact that you were Billikens, either virtually or in person, for about 48 hours. And so as a small gift from the university to you, is each of you will be receiving one of these badges with the St. Louis fleur-de-lis. It has both of the rivers, and this is our bicentennial badge that we're giving out for the 2018 celebration. So we have one of these for each of you to take home to remember St. Louis University, and your outstanding performances here during the competition. So again, thank you for joining us, and congratulations to each of you.
We wanted to do a little something for all of our judges, and many of them disappeared, but you're here. Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting. Have to do that. All right, Jay, thank you so much for your comments and for all of your support for judging. We do have a little something for all of our judges. They aren't all here today. This is from the university to you.
And on behalf of Optimist International, I'd like to present you with the Optimist Creed. Hopefully you're familiar with that, written by Christian D. Larson, and it tells the tenets that we believe in and I think we share with St. Louis University. So thank you for sponsoring this and being a partner.
Great.
In this. Thank you.
You want to get a picture?
Yeah, let's get it.
Okay, get the microphone out of the way. Here.
Here, we can step aside. Yeah, real quick. How's it?
Thanks again. Good
Thanks
job.
again. Thank you.
All right. Kathy, would you please come out of hiding? Right over here, wave your hand. One, I didn't see her over there before. Kathy Michael, who is the administrative assistant for Annie Rosenkrantz for the Center for Global Citizenship, literally was running all over. She told me she hit her 10,000 on her Fitbit by 1 o'clock yesterday. I had 17,000 by the end of the day. But no, I was walking around other places last night. But anyway, so Kathy literally ran her feet off and has been instrumental in getting this pulled together. So I want to also thank Kathy. Thanks. Well, we're thanking judges. We do have 2 of our 3 final judges in the room with us. Our 3rd final judge, I think, is listening in Canada, Dominique Giraud, who is the President and Vice Chancellor of Laurentian University in Canada, was our 3rd judge virtually. We also have with us Sherelle Johnson. Sherelle, if you could stand and wave your hand. And please come. Actually, Sherelle, would you please come forward, because we have a little something for you also. Sherelle was a communication major. She is now at St. Louis University working on her doctorate, but also was working in my office when I was the associate provost. She is the, we keep changing your title, Master's Candidacy Specialist. And so Sherelle, excellent speaker herself, communication major, and one of my best staff members. So thank you for coming over and doing this. Here we go. Okay, get a picture. Move this out of the way.
And again, on behalf of Optimist International and St. Louis University, we'd like to thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much. No problem. Probably the toughest job I gave you, right? Yes, she said yes. Okay. And then you've heard me reference him a couple times, but the person who actually had the idea for this is my husband, the Honorable G. Joseph Perrin. Don't get used to me calling you Honorable very often, but anyway. Joe also participated in Optimist Oratorical Contest when he was in high school, and I'd like for him to come forward, and we've asked him on behalf of all of the other judges to just make a couple comments. So, Joe? I will have to admit I was laughing a lot about average Joes during one of the speeches, so tell them about or not so.
Well, average Joes, that's a contradictory thing. And we have a trivia team and we call ourselves the not so average Joes. But yes, about 56 years ago, I participated in the Optimist Oratorical Contest in Shawnee, Kansas. Yes, that's a long, long time ago. And I remember back working so hard on my speech, practicing it constantly, and then going in for the contest on a Tuesday evening and being so nervous. I didn't think I'd be able to get through it. But as you all know, you do. If you practice and just give it your all, you'll get through and you'll probably do a very good job, which is what we saw today. And I was very impressed with the quality of every last one of the participants. And I had my own scoring system. And when I finished scoring them up, the 9 participants were all within 5 points of each other. Believe me, I'm a judge by profession, and I wasn't cheating on you. The participants were so good, and the quality was so uniform that I was just blown away. So I want to tell you on behalf of the judges, we thank you very much for proving to us once again that the youth of America are capable of doing a lot of great stuff. And I hope if some of you can participate again, you will do this. I think there's a possibility that one of the participants' sister may be trying to whip him next year. We'll see. We'll see if that works. But thank you very much for being here, and good luck. And I'm sure that you're all going to be great speakers later in life.
And we do really appreciate Joe coming up with the bright idea of an international contest. So thank you for that as well.
Okay, thank you. I think they're already great speakers now, quite frankly. So actually, if it weren't for this video system in here and our ability to go worldwide, I don't know if we would have been able to have done this before. So we're pretty excited. There's one more person who deserves a huge, huge round of applause, and she's the next speaker up here, and that's Dana Thomas. Let's give her a huge round of applause. Dana is what, senior program? What is your title exactly? Senior Director of Programs. I'll get it right. Dana has worked tirelessly to make this happen. She has fielded, I don't know how many questions, emails, phone calls. She has coordinated with Annie and me. It's been an amazing partnership, and I can't say enough about everyone at Optimist and how easy it's really been to work with all of you. Even though it's been a difficult project in many ways with a lot of moving parts, you have made it easy, and I think it's because of optimism. We knew this would happen. We knew it would come off, and Dana was right there doing everything along with everybody else you've met. But Dana, thank you for going the extra mile. Thank you.
Just a, just a few business items. After I get back from convention next week in Canada, you'll be getting further information from me as far as paperwork on how to redeem your scholarships when you're ready to go to school. So don't think I haven't forgotten about you, but give me a couple of weeks and you'll be hearing back from either email or mail with your redemption procedures and that kind of thing. So if you have any questions between now and then, I will be having emails, so send them to me. Suggestions on how we can make this better next year, I'm all for it. We just want to make this grow and grow and grow, and with your help with this first annual, I can't tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you, your parents, your grandparents, your teachers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So here's to the next years. And also, if you're going to need a bus back to the hotel, please see Andy Schutte, and otherwise we'll get on with what everybody's been here waiting for. So thank you again.
My speech is only about 2 hours, so I'm sure you're not anxious. I do want to thank a few folks here, in particular St. Louis University, for partnering with us. We appreciate all that you've done. Let's give them a big round of applause. We'd like to also thank our partners at the Optimist International Foundation and the Canadian Children's Optimist Foundation. Let's give them a big round of applause. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Craig Boring, who is the new executive director, just as of earlier this week, for the Optimist International Foundation. He'd be happy to take all your gifts. Let's give him a round of applause. We have a steering committee. Neither one of the chairs are here, but they've both put their heart and soul into this. Karen Monville and Essie Johnson. And prior to that, Ron Graves. He had some health problems and had to step aside. But if you notice, they are all contributors at the platinum level. And one of the things we believe in optimism is that you lead by example. So let's give them all a round of applause. I'd like to invite Carol Haynes, Dr. Senator Lady Carol Haynes, forward, our chair of activities, to help me with the presentations. And we have a special presentation we want to make before we announce the winners. Annie, if you would please come forward. We know that Annie has put her heart and soul not only on behalf of St. Louis University, but more importantly on behalf of the youth that have been involved in this contest. And as I'm sure you know, thousands and thousands of youth actually participate in this contest starting at the club level. And we sincerely appreciate all that you do. And we would like to make you a member of the Optimist family by presenting you a Friend of Optimism membership, if you would be so kind to accept that. Carol, if you would pen Annie. Thank you. Thank you so much. And no pressure, but we do need you next year. So. Usually I would swear you in, but these people kind of want me to read what's inside here. So do I. So why don't you stay up here with us? Dana, would you come up? Well, what you might do is, Benny, you and Dana, pass to Dana the trophies as we go. And so I'm going to start with third place. And as you know, the third place winner, like all the others, have already won $7,500 in scholarships, but the third place winner receives an additional $5,000 scholarship for a total of $12,500. And third place is Justice Hill from South Carolina, the Southeast region. drop that thing. It will crack. Oh, yeah. Way to go, Justice. In second place, receiving an additional $10,000 scholarship for a total of $17,500 is Grant Cadwell from Southern Region. And I hope he's watching. Here is your trophy. We'll get your name on that. And are you putting him up on the screen?
Put it on the screen. Here we go.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
We will be getting this to you, but we appreciate your participation and use the scholarship wisely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's take a break. No, we won't do that. In first place, receiving an additional $15,000 scholarship for a total of $22,500, Cameron Tyler of East Missouri, the Middle American District. And as the first winner of the World Championship, I think you probably have spoken in front of a group before. I'd like to give you the microphone. You don't get to take it home. I'm just letting you use it.
I don't even know what to say. This is an incredible opportunity. I've competed in this competition for several years now, and as my mom and I have been talking, God wanted something different. I competed at the district level a couple years ago, and I did not place that year. And so God certainly had something bigger for me. I just want to say thank you to the Optimist Club and for everyone that participated in it. All of you guys were amazing, and this is just an amazing opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you all. It's been a wonderful contest, and we'll see you back next year.
Wow.
Congratulations, my
Thank
girl.
you.
You did
Awesome.
a great job. Oh, yeah.